Good morning, guys. It's John from KC Farms. Welcome back to the channel. In our video a couple weeks ago, our 10,000 subscriber video, we asked you guys if you have any questions, ask those, because we know we got a lot of new subscribers and we will do our best to answer those. Well, I've got my cheat sheet today. We're going to be going through all those questions and hopefully answering them in a point or some way that it makes sense to you guys. So let's get started. Good morning, Kobe. We're gonna sit here and borrow this spot a little bit because it's getting windy. All right, guys, it has been quite windy the last couple days, so we haven't got to this video as soon as we were wanting to, but it's supposed to get windy today. I came out this morning, finished chores, and it wasn't bad yet. So we're gonna do our best to get through these so you guys can hear these. The first question from Henderson Acres. It says, I was wondering, what do you have planted in your pasture for your chickens and pigs to graze on? Henderson Acres, thank you guys for the question. Honestly, we haven't planted anything since we've been here. I'm probably the wrong person to ask this question to. I don't know a whole lot about planting grass or what to plant for what animal. I know there are some charts and graphs or things you can find online that give you an idea what's best to plant, but when we bought our property, it was just an empty hayfield. Hey, Cobes. And honestly, all we've done is rotate our animals through there and them spreading their manure. I don't know if it's the right grass or the perfect grass, but our animals enjoy it, and we haven't planted anything yet. I'd like to look into doing that, but as of right now, sorry guys, I don't know the best answer for that. All right, next two questions. They're basically the same question, so I hope to answer them both here. They came from Trisha. Trisha's question was, how old and approximately how much do those meat pigs weigh? And from Tony, it says, how old or how much do your butcher pigs weigh at butcher time? So thank you guys for those questions. The meat pigs that we had in the video the other day were 17 months old. We just took them the other day to the butcher, and usually we'll go anywhere from 14, usually around 18 months is what we like to do. We have done longer, just depending on how big they are and how well they're growing out. That is the problem with the Kune pigs. If you're looking for quick turnaround, you're not going to get it, but I think the time is worth the wait. We like the smaller pig for our farm just because it's not a huge pig that we have a ton of meat for. It's a good, easy homestead pig, and usually the weights, we've had anywhere from 150 to 200 pounds. That'd be live weight. So they've been a good size for us. So there is a group of people that try to get to 200 pounds in 12 months. We have not experienced that here yet on our farm, but we're also not trying to grow massive pigs. We like the small size of these pigs, so we're not trying to breed for huge pigs. Next question on the list is from Regina. Regina, thank you for your question. It says, Cal is getting so big, do you ever allow city dwellers to come for the farm experience? Well, here's Cal. Hey, Cal. Come here. Come here. Come on. Still working on those commands. Let's go get him. Cal. Cal is getting quite big. He's not used to being able to come in these pens, but this one is open from where the meat pigs were. Hey, Cal. Come here. Come here. There's a good boy. Everybody wants to say hi to you. I'm not sure how big Cal weighs or what he weighs, but he is getting big. Regina, we do not have people come to the farm. The biggest thing is just insurance purposes. We don't really want to take that risk of getting hurt. Nowadays, it's sad that sometimes you can't just have people come out because you're worried about insurance things, but that is the reason why we don't have people come out to the farm. Hopefully that will change someday. We thought about doing farm tours. We haven't got there just because of our insurance issues, and we weren't sure we wanted to add that extra insurance on the farm. So as of right now, we don't have people coming out to the farm for visits. All right, guys, I'm trying to work my way around the farm. and stay out of the wind as much as possible. The next question is about our coonies, not our coonies, but just about coonies in general. And it comes from Matt and Sarah. Thank you guys for your question. It says, how can we find cooney pigs for sale around us? Because Facebook won't let people sell animals. Well, that is a good question. A lot of times it's word of mouth. When we were looking on the internet. We are members of the AKKPS, which is the American Cooney Pig Society. I think that's what that acronym is. But there is a breeders section on there. You can click and go to the breeders section, and you will be able to find breeders or registered breeders near you. That's what we've used. We have been burnt a few times, and it's sad that people are trying to mess people up or screw people over, for lack of a better word. So we went with registered breeders that we were comfortable with, that were part of that. We've also traveled a long ways to get a lot of our pigs. We've been to Utah, we've been through Texas, the Carolinas. You can do animal transporters. We have never done that just because we wanted to go get ours. There's nothing wrong. If you find the right one that you're comfortable with, you can use those. But as far as finding good, reputable breeders, I would look on the AKKPS breeder sheet there. And they have some close to you. If there isn't any in your state or close to you, you may need to look at animal transport, or might need to drive a little bit. Okay guys, heading back here by the boar pen, another pig question. It comes to us from John Wayne. It says, what size area is suggested for one pig, and how often do you rotate on grass? Well, John, I don't know the exact numbers for one pig. Obviously, we always recommend not having one pig together, and I don't think that's what you meant by that question, but I think that's a good spot to be able to point that out to others, that you probably shouldn't ever just have one pig. But as far as pigs, we use 100-foot sections of fence. This has, I believe, 4 fences. There's 5 pigs in here. And as far as rotating in the summer when the grass is growing good, we like to get them moving at least once a week. It doesn't always happen, but that's what we like to do. Sometimes it's once every 2 weeks. The biggest thing, I don't think you really need a size, a certain size, but the smaller the area, the more often you're going to need to move them. So the larger area, maybe they could stay in this area for 2 weeks. This spot's just about done. There's a lot of poop everywhere, so I guess that's what I would say. I'd go check your area. Is there a bunch of manure everywhere? And is it time to move? So when that area looks dirty, messed up, and the grass isn't that great anymore, you can see a lot of it's knocked down in here. There's some tall stuff over there, but it's not stuff that they want. Then it would be time to move them to the next spot. So I'm not sure there's like a, I don't know if there's like a cattle thing where you got to move them every so often, but like I said, in the summertime, we try to move them every week or two, at least once a week or two. And in the wintertime, it's a little longer in an area. We'll usually put a bigger area. We'll put it in the woods because we don't want our pastures to get messed up. And so they may not stay as long, or they may stay a little longer in the same spot in the winter. Hope that makes sense to you. Sometimes I feel like I'm just rambling. I hope that answered your question, John. Thank you for that question. Okay, guys, I'm in here with Willow and her piglets. The next question is about mamas and nursing, so I figured this would be the best spot for that video if you can hear me over Willow singing. But question comes from Carl. Have you had any issues with birthing? As far as birthing, no, we haven't had really any issues. We've had stillborn piglets, but these mamas have done really well. I know there are some people that have had issues. I guess one time Jamie's mom had to go up inside. We were gone, and this was a couple years ago. She went up inside, hey mama, and was able to get a piglet out. So I guess that might have been our only issue. Next part of the question says, have you lost any mothers after birthing? Thank goodness, no. We haven't lost any mothers after birthing. They've all done well, and they haven't been sick. They've given birth well. They've nursed their piglets. We haven't had any reject their piglets, so fingers crossed. We've had pretty good luck with the coonies. Next part, I want to stay as clean as possible with medicines, but not opposed if need be. Do you give them anything throughout the year? So a lot of people will do iron shots on day 3. We've tried iron and we've done it without. We haven't noticed a difference really, so we don't do iron. We do have a natural worming video that we talked about, and for our natural worming video, we use that with our meat herd since we're going to be consuming them. Willow, you gonna knock the camera over? Hey, hey. Hey, no! Willow, pig, 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 pig. Pig, 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 pig. Come here. As far as worming, we will worm the main herd with Dectomax. It's every 6 months you need to worm them. And it says it's out of their system in 28 days. So we have used the Dectomax on our main herd, and we'll use the natural worming for our meat herd. Looks like I'm getting left in here by myself. I'll still finish the questions though. Do you think coonies could do well in Michigan? Yes, I think they can do well pretty much anywhere. I have a friend that raises them out in New Mexico. They don't have much grass, and they do well. They thrive out there. I think in Michigan they'd be fine. In the winters when it gets cold, just give them a shelter. They can get out of the wind, a bunch of straw or hay to bed down. They'll bury in there, and they'll do very well. So I think they can do well pretty much in any state. All right, Carl, I hope I got to all your questions. I think coonies would be a great idea for you if you don't want to deal with those 400 and 500 pound pigs. You coming back to say hi now? Huh? You got mud on your nose. You got mud on your nose. Okay, guys, the next question comes to us from Shannon. It says, wondering if you have any good recommendations on poultry butchering knives. So I don't have anything that's too expensive here. We just use boning knives. This one was given to me by a friend when we started doing this, and it works quite well. It's a wild bone boning knife. We got these off the internet, off Amazon, just a cheaper boning knife for when we were doing butchering classes. And then we also use this. This is a Rata cutlery. A lady at our school was selling these for a fundraiser back when I was teaching. And so we got another boning knife. That's very nice. Obviously, usually get what you pay for, but any boning knife, as long as you have it nice and sharp, I think it will work very well. I use these for killing. I use these for piecing out, breasting them, legs and thighs, and all the cuts. I use the same exact knife. I just use a good boning knife. So I hope that answers your question. We've been butchering for about 3 years now, and these are the only knives we use. So just find yourself a good boning knife, and it will work for everything you need. All right, guys, we're back to the bale. Colby has left us, but it is starting to get quite windy again. Going on with our questions still. It says, I'm new to your channel. First of all, thank you for subscribing, Laurel. How do you sell your cooney pigs and chicken? Well, here in Tennessee, you can sell your chicken at a farmer's market. It doesn't have to be USDA processed. There's an exemption under 1,000 birds, under 3,000 birds. You just need to go to your state's website and figure out what your particular rules are. So we sell our chicken at a market. We do sell off farm as well. The cooney pigs we sell, we do sell some breeding pairs. Things that aren't registerable we keep and we add to our meat herd. This is the first year we've took those 3 cooney pigs and we are taking them to the USDA processor. We have to get our meat license, and we will be selling different cuts at the market as well. So those are the ways that we sell our pigs and our chickens. All right, next question. It's about itty bitty. Ron Smith, is itty bitty still around? Quick answer, yes she is. The other question, does she still fit her name? Is she itty bitty? Yes, she is. Let's find her. She is over here And I am pretty sure, let's see who's hiding out in here. That's Dot. That's a big Ginger. Ginger is the oldest one in here. Itty bitty, that's her, way over here. So yes, she still is around. And yes, she is still itty bitty. She is the second, I believe the second oldest pig in this pen. This is the youngest one right here, this white one, and there's itty bitty. So she was born and she pretty much fit in my hand, which a lot of them do, but she was just much smaller than the other ones. Hey itty bitty, you gonna say hi? Mr. Ron's asking about you and if you're still here. So yes, here is itty bitty, definitely living up to her nickname. She is itty bitty. I hope this white one, that white one right there, is the youngest pig in here. Itty bitty's the second oldest pig in here, I believe. So there's itty bitty. She still is small. But at least we got the name right on you, didn't we? You're just itty bitty. Let's see if she still loves a belly rub here. There we go. Now she wants to fall, but she must be embarrassed because she's on camera. All right, Ron, there's itty bitty. Let's move on with our questions. Next question is from Danielle, my sister-in-law. I think she's just harassing us. Says, when are you getting cows? Well, we've talked about it back and forth. I just don't know enough about them. Everyone says, well, you just throw them out in your field and they eat the pasture. They're a big animal, bigger than anything we have. So probably the only cows we are getting are from our friends, and they come frozen and packaged, and we put them in the freezer. So we've thought about it, but as of right now, there won't be any cows coming. Okay guys, we are down to the last two questions. This one comes to us from Steven. Says, is the blue silo yours? Well, the blue silo was on the property when we got it. It was an easement owned by the county. They owned a drive all the way up to the blue tower. So it was a water tower for the county. They thought about selling it to us, but then decided, maybe not. So it's not in use. They don't use it anymore, so they have to come up here and they have to spray, and which we are not happy about, and they have to clean it out and cut and mow around it. So that is whose the water tower is. All right, guys, so as you can tell, we found the wind and we did purchase the water tower. We actually just purchased the land. Obviously, the water tower came with it. Really have no purpose for it, but we don't want people coming up our land and spraying, and so now it is ours. We come up here and relax. Maybe we'll do water tower talk Tuesday and go live up here. Just kidding, it's way too windy. But the view's amazing and it is quite relaxing. All right, that was fun and also a little bit tiring. Kids and I have been up there a couple times. It is quite an amazing view. I thought it was windy down here. Man, it was rough up there. So last question, David McKinney, where are you located and how many acres? We are in the beautiful state of Tennessee and we are on 17 acres. So been here about 4 years. It just was a big hay field when we started, and we lived in our camper for about 10 months. We'll post a video about getting started and making the change. If you haven't seen that, check that out here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. We had fun making it. Might have been a little choppy and all over the place, but we enjoy sharing our story with you and hoping that it encourages you guys to make the change. We'll see you on the next video.